Welcome again to Success International Training Institute. Remember, we're kicking off the series Fridays to Financial Health. So you're here for our very first episode, and I want to thank you for joining us. Now remember, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. Please leave feedback and share. This series is going to be a life-changing series. So I don't want you to miss any episode. I don't want anyone you know to miss any episode either. So I want you to share this video. Fridays to Financial Health. What are we talking about? We want to get you to a place where you're going to be better than where you were before. You're going to be your best self. You're going to make changes for generations to come. You're going to be impactful. Your life is going to be very different, and it starts today. We want to look at two things today. How are you going to be making those changes? Financial health is going to take a period of time. You're not going to reach there overnight. So, Fridays to Financial Health, what we had said was that having come from your 9 to 5, or even if you're not working, when you get to Friday, it's a time that I want you to take stock of yourself. Take stock of your week. What has it been like for you? Where have you been? Where do you want to go? And how you're going to get there. So Fridays to Financial Health is supposed to put you on a path to get you to the place where you really want to be. So I want you to get out your notebooks, get out your notepad, whatever you're going to document your life-changing path on. That's what I want you to get out today, because we don't want you to be in the same place you've been before. We want to ensure that when we talk about changes, you're going to really make those changes. You're going to be able to reflect on them. You're going to be able to look back and to see where you're going, and you won't want to rely on your memory alone. So documenting the path you want to take is important. So get your notebooks ready. So the first thing I want you to be doing is reflecting. Reflect on where you have been. Where are you right now? How did you get into this situation? Analyze the last 2 years of your life. What were the goals that you had set for yourself? Have you accomplished those goals? If you have not accomplished those goals, I want you to document the reasons why you believe you have not accomplished those goals. The reason why I said 2 years is because I don't want you to get depressed or feeling so bad that you don't want to move along. Because sometimes if we take a hard look at ourselves, we tend to be upset. We tend to forget that despite the fact that we haven't accomplished many of the things that we had set out to accomplish, we still managed to accomplish some. So the last 2 years would be a decent spot to start with. So over the last 2 years, where did you see yourself? In the job that you're currently occupying? Where did you really want to be? Are you at that level in your workplace? Or if you're an entrepreneur, are you there? If you're a student looking to get into the work field, are you where you're supposed to be or you thought you would have been? In your personal life, are you at the level that you thought you would have been? Have you grown any at all? Have you achieved anything from that list of goals that you had set 2 years ago, hoping that you had at least documented them or that your memory is good that you would remember them? But have you grown? Did you plan to study, for example, and did you actually done your studies? Did you plan to expand your business? Did you plan to be at another level in the organization, and did you get there? Have you remained stagnant? Have you not done anything from where you had set out to get some things done? Have you digressed, or have you remained stagnant? Now, it may be a little bit difficult for you to face reality, but unless you face the position you're in now and what has gotten you to this place, you will not be able to really move forward in the right way. We want to get you to a place where you have actually done the kind of reflection that you need to do in order to find your footing, in order to know the rut that you've been in, if you're in a rut, or if you've achieved some of the goals, how are you going to move your life forward? How are you going to get to that place where you want to be? So reflection is key to your next move. You can't move on unless you know where you're coming from, what it is that got you into this place, and where you want to be. So many of us would like to skip over our past, but it is critical to our growth. So many of us would love to just wish it away. So many of us would be amazed at the accomplishments that we've made and we haven't recognized them. So a period of reflection is key. A Friday is a good day to start that period of reflection, that period of taking stock of your life and believing that you can accomplish that which you've set out to accomplish, if it is that you really take a hard look at where you are and be willing to move forward. The period of reflection as well gives us an opportunity to really find solutions to those things that we had challenges with. It gives us a great opportunity to look back and to pat ourselves on the back. Yes, we have achieved. Yes, we moved on with certain things. We may not have accomplished everything on our list of things to do over the last 2 years, but if you did some, kudos to you. You've done well. You're on a path and we want to move you forward. So that's the first step in Fridays to Financial Health. Reflection. Take a look back at where you were, where you are currently, and where you wanted to be. So reflect on your life. That is your first step. Remember, I said to you, document every single thing, everything that got you into this position. I want you to have it written down, because when you move forward, that's what we want you to pay attention to. We don't want you to make the same mistakes you did. We want you to take from that the best strategies that you employed. We want you to take from that the things that you accomplished and to move them forward, to build on those, to create a better platform for where you were. So that's step number 1, reflection. The second step I want you to take in Fridays to Financial Health is planning for your break. Reflection was yesterday, where you've been. It's a very important step, but it was yesterday. In order to grow, you have to move on from there. Take the positives, take the negatives, all that it came with, but you want to move on. Because unless you move on, you're not going to grow. You're not going to achieve those objectives. So your next step is planning for your break. So how do you go about planning for your break? One of the things I want you to do is to have a 5-year plan. That 5-year plan is going to be a very broad plan. Big goals, big objectives, where you see yourself in 5 years' time. I did ask you earlier to look at the last 2 years. Now I want you to go a bit further. I want you to know take a look at the next 5 years of your life. Where do you want to be? Do not be afraid to write down the most excessive plan you have. Plans you don't even see the path to right now. That's what I want you to do right now. A 5-year plan. Your biggest, boldest goal. So having written down your 5-year plan, you know the length of time it's going to take you to get there. Now the next step in that 5-year plan is to break it down into milestones. Shorter goals, shorter paths that you need to take. One, you want to be able to encourage yourself, because having bold steps written down, big plans, and you don't see yourself getting there can actually discourage you. And I don't want you to be discouraged on this new path that you're taking to financial health. So you're going to set milestones, smaller objectives along that path. So it could be that you're writing down plans on a monthly basis. Take those 5 years, break them down into yearly plans. How are you going to achieve that big 5-year plan? Yearly plans. Year 1, this is my step forward. Year 2, and as you go along, you check them off. Then take those yearly plans and break them down further into bite-sized pieces, monthly objectives. Because to get to your 5-year plan, it's not going to come overnight. What you want to do is to look at paths that you must take to accomplish those objectives, and you take them in smaller portions. So take, for example, you want to buy a house in 5 years' time. You don't have the money as yet. How are you going to be able to do that? Take a monthly look at your financial situation, how much you need to save, and each month you will check those off. That's what I'm talking about. Bite-sized pieces will give you greater encouragement along your path. And actually, what it will do is allow you to review those plans and to see whether or not they're still working. Your goal is to get to a place where you are financially healthy. That means you want to be able to have savings and investments that will allow you to live the life that you have always desired to live. Now, having taken that step to write down your 5-year, your 1 year, your monthly objectives, you need to look at how you're going to achieve that. How is it that you will accomplish even those monthly goals? Could it be that you need to get yourself retooled? If you're talking about getting a managerial job, for example, do you now have the skill set to get you there? Or do you need some form of training? So those are the things I want you to look at. Look at whether or not you are built for achieving those goals. Look if you're competent enough. Look if you're equipped with the right mindset to really move forward on this 5-year plan. These are things that you have to assess for yourself. These are things that you need to know, and you want to know how to get there. The next thing I want you to do is to review those areas that you had reflected on before. Some of them you may not have accomplished, but you were on the path. Do they still fit into your current situation or your goals? Are they still relevant to you? Would you want to review those? Would you want to make changes? Or if they still fit into your goal, then you incorporate them into your 5-year plan. What we want you to do is to be encouraged to plan your life. Don't allow others to take those decisions for you. Don't allow others to have the upper hand into what your life is supposed to be. You know where you want to be. Yes, you may need guidance, but you really ultimately should decide what it is that you want to achieve and how you're going to get there. Now, you can't accomplish a lot without planning, or I should say, if you want to be successful, if you want to achieve your goals, you have to put some plans in place. There are different kinds of plans that you would put in place. But the first thing you want to do is to really know where you want to be. That's how you're now going to decide the kinds of plans that are necessary in order to get you there. The foundation is to have a plan, have a realistic plan. And that's why I said to you, break down your 5-year plan into manageable objectives, into things that you believe you can accomplish in the short term. And then you will be able to see each step of the way how it is that you're getting along. How is it that you're able to get to the path of your 5-year objective? So those are 2 things that I want you to do starting today. Reflect and plan for your break. 2 very critical steps into your financial health, into your financial break. Today's Friday. I want you to get up. Don't be moping around. Don't be wondering and stressing out yourself. Oh, I did not accomplish this. Oh, this didn't work the way I intended it to be. That was yesterday. That's all gone. That's history. Take yourself up. Move on. Move on from there. When you get to Friday, I want you to grab that planning book. I want you to begin to document your future. What will Monday look like for you? What will the next week at work look like for you? What will the next 5 years of your life look like for you? That begins with your first step. Do not get into Saturday morning. That's why I'm saying to you, Friday evenings represent the very best time for reflection and change. When you feel that you have been spent, you've been exhausted, you have run out of options, you have nowhere else to go, you don't know what else to do, it's the very best time to reflect. It's the very best time to chart your way forward. So this is the first in our series. I want you to join us next week Friday for another video on your financial path to health. Fridays to financial health. Join us. Share this video with others. Remember, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do so. Subscribe, share, like this video, leave a comment. Let us know how it has helped you or how it will help someone that you know. Thank you for joining us in our very first video on Fridays to financial health.